right, here we are in Gig Harbor. It's Friday the 14th of August. Still on the hard, as you can see. But we've been busy putting a middle strand of the lifeline on. And we got that all the way forward, starboard and port side. Rick's just finishing up here on the aft port side. But it is a beautiful night out now. Temperature is perfect. Just a ton of people coming and going from the water and playing. You found it.
I'm lubricating O-rings now.
Okay. We'll allow you to lubricate your O-rings. So we had to pull everything out from under the settees to do some wiring and whatnot. And so that's all out. Then I have storage that goes in here, which is under the table. That stuff's all out because wiring has to go in there. And then Ricky has to work, and I call him Ricky occasionally, has to work deep down there in that hole with some wiring. So all of our stuff, again, like I always say, is everywhere. There is stuff everywhere. That drawer is right at the edge. And so, if you thought I was a hoarder before, you may think I am now, but I'm not. A lot of this is cabinetry in the door, and that comes off of this compartment. And the air compressor, I know it's hard to see. See if I can get a light on the subjects here. The air compressor for the refrigerator freezer and where some of the wiring comes through. And then this becomes the shelves. And then I got storage in here when those are all back and where they belong. And then we're going to go aft. And a lot of the wiring then goes overhead, up and through here. Well, it comes from over here, up over here, down here, under these stairs, through here, and then through the wall, up through here, through the ceiling, all the way over into this conglomerate of wires. And then while that's going on, they're working on the cutless bearing. So that has to come here out of the aft cabin. So you can see they've got my mattress jacked up so that they can get into the area for the rudder stock, which is deep down in here. And you can't see anything in there because I get my head in the way. But it goes down in here. So I have to take the rudder stock off there. And you can see where that light comes through from the outside. So that goes straight down to the outside. So then they have to, of course, move the bed. At least this time they didn't have to take all my drawers out. That's good. And it's just propping the mattress up. So they're trying to be a little more convenient for me. But, so that's the rudder stock. Then we have the cutless bearing. The forward cutless bearing that goes in here. And they were thinking there was a water flow issue. Front cutless bearing was delaminating for whatever its reason in 66 hours. As well as the aft cutless bearing, the outside one, the back one. So just kind of comes through there. Hard to see. You can see my shadow, but you can't see where it actually comes through right there. And attaches in over here. This is the line that brings water from the engine for engine flow to make sure there's plenty of water coming here, going across the front cutlass bearing that'll be in here, on through this tube, on out, then to the back cutlass bearing. So, a few things in our way. Try to get another light on here. There, maybe that'll help us just a little bit. But bits and pieces everywhere, which I'm going to move because I think it's crazy to have it in the way. But then it's a guy thing. Sorry, guys. It's just a guy thing. And so I'm looking at all these little pieces next to this sink there, so anyway, kind of what they've been doing while we've been gone for a couple weeks. Turn a couple more lights off. There we go. We were here the first week that it went on the hard, when we brought it over and had it lifted out. Excuse me. And then we did some work on it, videoed the outside, and I'll go video that with the rudder off. And then we didn't make it last week because we sold our Jeep, sold our motorhome. Motorhome was picked up on Friday, so had no time to come over here last week. So this week now we're back again, trying to get some wires ran. We have fingers crossed that it'll go back in the water next weekend. We do have an issue with our propeller being out of pitch just ever so slightly and out of balance, they said. So having that over at Tacoma Prop, getting that fixed, and then we'll get that back over here next week, and hopefully we'll be able to get that put back on and get this baby back in the water. Make sure there's plenty of water going across the cutlass bearing so we don't have an issue with a lack of water.
So we're here at Gig Harbor Boatyard again after our survey. If you remember last time, one of the items on there was a cutlass bearing that was replaced less than 66 running hours ago. So we also still had some cavitation issues. So here you can see the stern tube where they had to completely rebuild that last time. But if you notice this is the modification we had done to the keel. If you remember, this was this wide all the way down. It was just a flat space and the prop was right here. So we believe that every pass that blade was making, it was creating a vacuum and cavitating. So on the 75s the next year, they did this, and so we decided, you know, they may have found that was an issue. We've also, well, the marina felt like adding a couple of ports on each side would provide additional water flow to the cutlass bearing. It doesn't go all the way through though, so that's kind of interesting. So I've obviously got that to do. They glassed over the set screws for the cutlass bearing, so we'll have to redo that. But anyway, we're anxious to get that in, see how that goes. And we talked about maybe having the bottom paint redone because it looks a little chalky here, but we put the best bottom paint, 2 coats on less than 2 years ago, and that should be good for 4 to 5 years. So we're not going to do that just to make it all look pretty. Doesn't need it, we're not going to do it. Here's our rudder. And that's where that goes, into the abyss. So our hope is we'll get the prop back Monday from Tacoma Prop. And the Tacoma Prop did the repitching and resizing of the prop that we had on. It was changed from a 2026. It was a 26-inch prop with a 20-inch pitch, and we changed it to a 24-inch prop with a 22-inch pitch, or 22-degree pitch. And the prop for some reason is less than 22 now and out of balance. So the comment was, we must have hit something soft, because there's absolutely no markings on the prop whatsoever. No scratches, no dings, no apparent damage whatsoever. So I think, not sure what to believe about that. But anyway, they're rebalancing that, and we're going to get that reinstalled. The shaft, they checked the shaft. The shaft was fine, not bent, no markings, no bearing marks, wear marks, anything. So that is, in our opinion, humble opinion, an issue with the installation of the cutless bearings the last time they did those. And turned out that they did put some caulk in because there was a little bit of play where the cutless bearing went in, and when they shoved the cutless bearing in, it pushed some of the caulk up and interfered with the flow of the water around it. This is their speculation. So the Tacoma Prop does not believe that the balance or pitch in any way contributed to the wearing out of the cutless bearing in such a short amount of time. So I'm sure we're going to have a discussion with the marina, with the boatyard here, about whose responsibility it is to make sure that this doesn't happen again and to correct the problem, which we paid dearly for less than 2 years ago. So with that, we did get the new depth sounder installed. It's a little more powerful than the one before. Same make, Airmar, and let's see if I can find that up here. That is the new depth sounder, and this is the new paddle wheel for the knot meter. So that's done. So we've got some things done. Got the wires ran, got everything actually put back into normal. You know how that drives Judy crazy when things are strode all over the place. And we had to do it to empty the compartments where we were going to run the wires. So that's back to normal. Judy's feeling much better about the way the boat looks. And that's pretty much it for now. Hopefully we'll have an update soon and resplash her and get this back in the water where we can get back to enjoying her.